Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, aka Tony. Here with some of my co-hosts and friends in the building. Got my dog, the bald one, the great one, Pooh Jones in the building.
What's going on, my brother?
Not much. Just a nice, good, lonely little night with you boys. It's gonna be nice.
Did you say a nice, cold, lonely night?
Lonely of the loneliest. Also in the building, the Texas one without a gun, Mateo.
Do you think that we, what kind of music would we have as our background music if we just had music going during the podcast?
That banda music, which is facts.
Just be some pure Tejano going on in the background.
Straight in the background. Very subtle, though.
I think it'd be like lo-fi hip-hop. Like, you want like a nice little subtle hip-hop beat that sounds chill, but it ain't doing too much, you know?
We could play
it's
that
about 8 seconds just looping over and over.
Some would say it's the music, the equivalent of Doey's beating music. You know, when Doey took a beating, but you know the hip hop blend of it.
The Kenny
you got the elevator jazz, but this is the elevator jazz for the podcast. You know, it's like the hip hop shit.
You know who was onto that early? Adult Swim in their breaks. You don't remember that music they used to play? It felt like that.
I don't remember that at all. I didn't really watch Adult Swim like that.
I was up for Adult Swim. That's how I watched the majority of the anime that I got. Trigun. I watched what's the other one? The very popular one that was on there.
Inuyasha.
That was on there. I didn't like that. It's the one that they made a live action on Netflix, but it didn't do well.
Oh, you're talking about Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, that's where I watched Cowboy Bebop. There's a really cool episode in that show where he's inside of a church. He has a shotgun and he's just killing people. And I can remember like scrolling through the cable at night and popping up on that. And I'm like, this is the anime I like. He has a shotgun.
See, Tony, Doey interrupted his own DJ Doey Fresh intro this time.
He did. I was waiting for a moment to cut in. Just like also in the building.
I'll take the blame for that only because I actually brought Doey in with the beating music. You know, I dragged him in with that. So
yeah, the Kenny G lives on.
Kenny G lives.
Last but not least, DJ.
Yeah, that's
Doey.
a good point, actually, Pucho. Like, I think that it was you that like really like threw it off.
Definitely was Pucho.
I mean, it might have been you asking about what music would we play on the pod.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it no more. 3 times.
Some say a 4th time's a charm.
Oh my God. This shit just brings me back. Shout out to Felix, but this shit brings me back to Felix when he always used to cut me off, bro. That shit used to get me tight. Like, yo, Felix, I shout out. You gonna see this? Yo, I love you, my brother, but this shit is killer.
The After Hours podcast,
God,
right?
Damn it, that's 5 in a row. Yeah. This is the After Hours, boys. The After Hours. Last but not least, DJ Doey Fresh is in the building.
Yo. Ooh. This is unheard of.
Just because
the fans are going wild.
Yeah, they're actually going apeshit.
Just because they interrupted you like 5 fucking times for this intro. Shit is ridiculous. Yo, so Dana White has adopted the slap fucking fighting shit. I know you guys seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this shit's really going somewhere? Or is it just like a gimmick thing right now?
I think that we move closer and closer to the movie Idiocracy every single day. You know that in the movie Idiocracy, there's a fucking slap fighting league. There's no way there's not a slap fighting league. It's just signing up for concussions and brain damage, dude. That's all. It's not even the Ford fight shouldn't even be in there.
I mean, it's been around for a while though. Like it's been on like those fucking underground YouTube channels.
Yeah, dude. I used to watch a bunch of rednecks like do it on YouTube. It's entertaining. It's not a good idea.
For me, it's a big aspect of New York is something called slap boxing. and
I hate
we would get together after middle school. It was like 7th grade, 6th grade, and people would slap box outside in front, and it was like a friendly fight. It was very weird. It was just to test your skills and see what type of hands you had. And that was what the slap boxing was for me. That's how I got introduced to it.
that shit started fights. As soon as one
No,
dude,
for sure.
as soon as one dude slapped just a little hard, bah, he'd be like, I bet. When it's like, bah, then it becomes, now we fighting, bro, because you slapping me too hard.
See, that's why Ninja is the better game than slap fighting. Y'all ever played
What's
Ninja? Ninja's the one where you have to slap each other's hands.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's a lot.
You got to be quick, boy.
It's different from that one where you put your hands out and you have to like do the crossover slap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's different from that one.
That's the same
That
thing.
game is stupid.
Was it
Did you
stupid?
say Ninja's stupid or the slows?
No, the fucking game where you put your hands on somebody else's hands and try to slap them.
I'll tell you
I
what.
feel like. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what. Good game we should do when we all link up and we do our in-person pod. We should have 2 people in front of each other with like a fucking big-ass galon, that plastic bottle. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And whoever hits it gets whacked across the head with that fucking bottle until a certain amount of hits going, like first to 5. First to 5 wins, next person. Just to start the show, you know what I mean?
Is this a real game that you've played before, or this is something that just popped into your dome?
No, people have done it before. They literally just sit there, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Someone to get it don't win, they get smacked right across the head with a fucking either like a aluminum foil pan type of thing or the bottle of water. It's funny to see though. Like people get so hyped, they be like, "Yo, I better not lose because I done smacked this kid like 4 times, and my time is coming." And the funniest shit.
What I've seen is people will put on like a motorcycle helmet, and then 4 people stand behind them, and like one person hits them, and they have to guess who just hit them, and then whoever, if they guess right, that person has to put the helmet on. That's the only one of those I've ever seen, like where you're hitting somebody on the head.
My dudes, there are thousands and thousands of board games out there and bar games and whatnot. Why are we all playing the worst ones? Slap fighting and smacking helmets.
Because we're mad.
Because how exciting are those board games? These games are exciting. When I was in high school, right, we used to have this game. We had in construction class, we used to have these hanging like extension cords that you could like plug into. So they were just like hanging from the ceiling. And if you sat on the desks, they were about head height. Like they were like right at your head. So then we all used to put on our construction hard hats and sit on the table and then like throw the extension cord so it like swings back and forth like a pendulum, and then whoever got hit with it gets eliminated. That was some of the most hype shit we ever did in that class. And you know, whoever won just felt the glory of winning that day. It was nothing to win, but that shit was like the whole room was cheering for people. It was, you know, that don't happen in a board game. Board games are boring. Okay, I'd be bored when I play board games. Like, I'd be having fun for 30 minutes, then I try to find a way to kill myself. That's usually how it happens.
Any game that has everyone collectively saying any game that does that to you, it's over.
Which in this game you're talking about, were you allowed to dodge?
No,
you can't
It's
dodge.
all to the whims of just however physics plays out.
So you can't move in your chair or anything like that?
No. It's like 5 people sitting shoulder to shoulder, and you're just waiting for somebody to get hit with this cord. Like, that's it.
Damn, I thought that you had some like dodging experience and you were going to be able to finally explain what the hell the drum technique is to me.
This actually relates back to the slap thing that Dana White has going on, which I think is an absurd sport, by the way. I don't like. I feel, well, no, that's a lie. I was gonna say it's not really a sport. It's just an absurd sport. Like, you really are signing up for concussions and shit like that. And there's gonna be some people that are like, "Oh, how's it different from boxing? Or how's it different from football?" And it's like the difference is that people are allowed to employ defensive maneuvers to not get destroyed. This shit is just like taking turns, taking your best shot, and it's like, that ain't healthy. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like
They're acting like with an open hand. There's nothing. Yeah, it's an open hand.
I watched the Russian dudes. So they've been doing this shit for a while. One guy, he was about to win the slap competition, but he got slapped so hard. I think his jaw broke or something. His whole side of his head was swollen like that far out. I'm not even kidding. He had a normal face on one side and a fucking lumped ass head. He looked like Gumby and shit on one side of his head.
Oh,
like,
no, he won.
Did he
that was-
win?
he
I
was-
thought
that
he
was
got-
a
I thought-
winner.
okay.
Yeah, he was the winner, bro.
Okay, it didn't look worth it, okay? Every time he got slapped, I died a little bit more inside.
Yo, his shit
Which
was swole.
he's pretty set for life though. Like I'm pretty sure the like first prize is like $100 gift card to Academy and a free year of food from Arby's.
Right. Who has gone to Arby's here? I'm curious.
I've gone to Arby's once. Once ever.
One and done.
Why'd you go in
And-
there? What drove you to go to Arby's?
You know why I went in there. I went with some other people and they were the ones that chose to go to that restaurant.
I feel like only serial killers eat at Arby's because I've never seen anyone eat at Arby's. I feel like you got to be a madman to go in there.
I ate there.
You see how many pieces of meat they put in their sandwiches? Which should sound like a good thing, but coming from a fast food place, it just doesn't sound right. It feels like you're
trying to
gonna
get rid of
get like
meat.
a stomach bug no matter what. What's up?
Bro, I ate there because I was the only thing around me when I was working on the road. When I tell you their sandwiches are wet and the massive diarrhea that I had after, I almost shit myself driving back home from Miami. I pulled over on the side of the 95 or turnpike and took a shit. Used my socks, wiped my ass, and kept it pushing all the way home.
Wow, that's an Arby's story. God damn.
That is
That sandwich
I'll
is
say this:
wet.
I put that on you. That's your fault, okay? Because
Yeah,
I remember the
100%.
other time that we were all on the phone, and you're like, "I'm so hungry. Where am I gonna go?" And you're like, "I could go to Wendy's. I could go to Taco Bell. I could go to Mickey D's." Where everybody's like, "McDonald's, Wendy's, Wendy's." 20 minutes later. He's like, yeah, I just bought a Whopper. We're like, why'd you go to Burger King? And then you got stomach aches, and it's like you put it on yourself. You make terrible food decisions. So
The funniest part was that he kept going to different establishments and like, damn, the line is really long.
Those are
At
facts.
McDonald's, at Taco Bell, at Wendy's. He said, yo, Burger King was the only one, 0 line.
That's a fact. That
That's a
happened.
sign.
That happened for sure. I wanted tacos originally. That's what I really wanted. But that line,
You were talking tacos al carbone.
that line was
I hate
too
that we
long.
say it like that. Tacos al carbone. It's like, I know
Al
how to talk
carbone.
Spanish. Why are we
Al
saying
carbone.
tacos al carbone?
Y'all don't care about like videos that come out about these places where there's like a cockroach inside the fucking shit. Niggas
It
would be
depends
like
on-
tacos al carbone military trail on 10th.
I mean, it depends, right? Like everywhere in New York has rats, right? It's like everywhere has rats. So like, no, you can't be too worried about rats in New York.
I think
How-
the cockroach adds sazon to the food, to be honest. I feel like the places that look like the most roach infested may make the best food. You be going to the most ghetto spot and they have the most banging fucking fried chicken. Yo, tell me Hook doesn't look like fucking like they're made like the Hook shit. Like it ain't fucking like Joe's apartment at night. Like that fucking place must be jumping with roaches. But you best believe them fries and get that 10 wing dinner. That should be hitting. I'm just
What?
saying,
Bro,
What a reference, dude. What a pool.
You just reminded me about the cockroaches dancing in his apartment. Like, oh my God.
Just to clarify, who is Joe in Joe's apartment?
Joe's Apartment is this movie from like 1992. terrible idea. I don't know how this movie got greenlit, but the idea is this guy moves into this apartment that's infested with cockroaches, and the cockroaches are just doing mass shit. They're like sentient animals. They're like, oh, we're gonna jump in his coffee and do this. And I think like in the beginning they keep fucking with him, but towards the end they're like friendly. They get him a date. They like get him a job. They fuck with the guy who's trying to fuck him. It's crazy. They be doing the most. They get rug pulls, all types of shit.
I've never ever heard of this movie. That's fucking disgusting.
The actor in Joe's apartment, is it Dennis Quaid?
I don't remember, dude.
Damn.
No, I think you just brought this back into my memory. I didn't have this memory before, but you brought it back into my brain.
That little synapse hasn't fired in 25 years.
I can't believe that, bro.
Yeah, it's Jerry O'Connell, which no one knows who this guy is, but when you see him, you'll know him. You'll go, I remember that guy was in movies, you know? What movies? I don't know. I now need to look up Dennis Quaid because I'm like, why did I say
How
Dennis
much, while he's looking for it, how much do you guys care about rodents, insects, and pests? Would you consider pest control animal cruelty?
Oh, it's the dude from Stand By Me.
Stand By
No,
Me?
I do not.
With the kids?
Yeah.
Those are insects. They're pests for a reason.
There's a video floating around Twitter of rats on a rat trap. They put like beef liver in like a bunch of rat traps, and like 7 rats get trapped there. One rat starts to eat another rat. Is real fucked up. But people are calling it animal cruelty.
Those
I don't know
people
if you
are
can.
fucking morons.
I don't know.
It's only
I feel like
animal
people
cruelty.
want to be offended.
It's only animal cruelty until that rat's in there fucking. This man had to go to the bathroom until that rat fucking goes in there. You see how fast he got off that shit?
Arby's hit, bro.
Insert RB sign here.
Yo, he got up with purpose. Boom, he flew out of his chair.
I mean, Tony, it kind of makes sense. I mean, you've hunted before. You're a hunter, right? There's a difference between shooting a deer and taking it down in like one shot compared to like going and, I don't know, if you were chasing down a deer with a machete or something and hacking it up, you would call that animal cruelty, right? It's going to die either way, but
yeah. Unless you're an alligator, then yeah, I wouldn't.
Here's my take, all right? I don't really care about animals that much. So even if somebody hacked up a deer like that, I would judge you as a person. I would say there's something really weird about you that you would do that. I'm going to keep an eye on you, but I wouldn't be so like upset about the deer, you know? I'd be like, all right, whatever.
The fucked up thing about the video was that it was like a setting. It was like a castle. And there was like a beef liver in the middle.
He built
and then
artwork
there's
for
mad
them.
mouse traps and sticky mouse traps.
That's fire.
And yeah, it's floating around Twitter. Everybody's really upset about it, calling it animal cruelty and this and that. But I don't know. As a person that's lived in a New York basement most of their life, you don't want these things around. You want them dead, X'd out. You don't want them anywhere near you. All right.
That's what I'm saying. These people yo, you wanna protect these little fucking bugs and rodents? Have German roaches in your house. I guarantee you feel different.
I don't think anyone is saying they shouldn't be exterminating the rats. I think it's just the way they're exterminating the rats.
Yeah.
Fuck
They
that.
put like
It's what I just said. Like somebody who's exterminating rats in a normal way for functional living, that's whatever. This guy creating this whole elaborate thing to do it, it's like that says something about the person. All right.
For sure.
You're probably a weirdo. Wait a minute. Are you saying that this guy built the castle to kill rats and that's a totally normal behavior, Tony?
No, I'm saying that he built.
Sorry, so why were you making all the crazy faces when I said what I said?
He built a trap for a purpose. Rats
But
like
he
to
dressed
climb
it up.
shit.
himself. That's why he built the trap.
He didn't need to
that's-
make it look like a castle. That was for like aesthetics.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. He's spending the time to go kill the rodents and shit. Who the fuck am I to complain about how he's killing them? He's not. It's not like he's letting them sit there all for 10 months and let them fucking get at each other. He's set a trap with a little bit of a design. Some would say pretty cool of him to do that. Last final resting place for a fucking rat. Give him a little castle.
Isn't abusing animals one of those like serial killer signs you have
is.
to worry about with people?
It's a red flag for
For
sure.
sure.
It's a red flag.
Fact.
Unless it's
Can you link this
accidental.
video to me, though? I want to see this.
I will find it for
Unless
you.
it's
It was
accidental.
it's pretty disturbing. As if anybody looks up the video, I want you to know, be ready because it's kind of hard to stomach.
Unless it's accidental. It's
I'll be
okay.
alright. Also, just to go back to Joe's apartment, you said it's the guy from Stand By Me. He's Vern, the fat kid in the group. He
Yeah.
does not look like he would be that kid. So that's interesting.
Yeah, dude got he lost some weight.
It's dropped in the chat.
I do. Don't do that though, because
All of you guys are ready.
Screen.
Look at the faces in the next minute or two of us reacting to this video.
So, Tony, would you accept a slap fight? What amount of money would have you compete in a slap fight?
Two things: the person I'm going against, and the money. If it was like me and Doughboy, yeah, I'll do it. If it was me and Pucho, how much money? Because Pucho has a little bit of boxing experience. He knows how to get his stance ready to slap a bitch with full speed. Not saying I'll be afraid to do it. I just want to get paid a little bit more. That's all. You, I think it'll be unfair. You wouldn't be able to reach my face because you're so fucking short.
I'll be honest, even with my knowing some boxing and shit like that, I don't feel confident going slap for slap. Like, part of boxing is the hitting and not getting hit. Being forced to stand there and take blows, like, I'm good. Also, I just watched this video. It is disturbing to watch. I don't like looking at rats. They gross me out. And seeing 12 of them stuck to sticky paper squealing for their lives is all the more gross. It actually made my stomach turn a little bit.
I can't watch
It's
it.
awful.
So.
It's awful. I had a place that had a couple of mice in it one time, and I used that sticky paper. And it's fucking disturbing, man. Like waking up at like 2:00 in the morning to mice screeching in your house because they're peeling their own.
But is it weird that it's normal for me? Because that's literally how we've gotten rid of all the mice in our houses, are sticky traps. And like the other times are if a mouse or a rat eats poison, usually they come out to the open, and then you're supposed to like drown them in water. You're supposed to like put them in like a bucket.
See, we never used any kind of poison or anything because we had animals, so like didn't want to kill the rest of the animals by going after the rats.
So what about these New York people that go out at night with these little beagles?
You saw that? That's the terriers?
Yes. Oh, the terriers. Yes.
Yeah.
They do that. There's a group of these fuckers that go out and do that shit. That's
They
not
go
as
to
bad.
the park. Yeah.
That's not as bad.
I mean, I don't know. I
think that's more. I think that makes more sense than
ethical.
like the sticky paper. It's
ethical.
like it's almost like hunting. It's like almost like urban hunting at that point.
Diablo. I mean, sticky paper may be a little bad.
I've seen a video of like these, I don't know where these people were, but there's like some farm looking place, and there's just big mounds of shit, and they keep using like these like not a bulldozer, but like a barrel loader or wheel load or whatever the fuck the construction vehicle's called, and they'll like lift the dirt and like shake it off, and just like dozens of rats would fall out of this, and they had all these little dogs going and killing all the rats, and it's just a video of this for like 20 minutes. They're just lifting mounds of dirt and these dogs just killing dozens of rats. That shit is gross. I don't know why there's so many rats anywhere. Something ain't right in that place.
It's Australia. We need to get Stephen Beaumont's input on this. I heard Australia, they had like how locusts come and they just eat everything, the same way with mouses and field rats. There's just hundreds of thousands of them, and they decimate everything. Crops, farm it, like everything they'll eat.
It's like a real life Plague's Tale in Australia. It's just the rats are just like killing shit. That's crazy.
We gotta get Stephen Beaumont's word on this. Though.
I saw this picture today where it was like it was like someone making fun of like all the dangerous animals on Australia, and he put up like a picture like the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings and the Mind Flayer and some big spider monster and just like these 4 different like things. And someone comments, he's like, you know what? He's like, I'm tired of all this anti-Australia hate. He's like, 2 of those creatures don't even exist down here.
That's fucking funny. But no, yeah, man, them shits is yeah, fuck all those pet rodents and shit. I do tell you what is not disgusting to do to these things. Shooting them. Just shoot them. Like you do when
imagine the sound of New York at night if you could just shoot rats.
Oh well, no! New York's its own animal. You can't
imagine the number of neighbors getting shot because people are shooting fucking rats in their 3rd floor apartment and bullets are going down to the 2nd floor.
I'm just sniper. Oh, sniper!
The sniper in their diaper, just waiting for the fucking rat to turn the corner.
With a BB gun, not an actual fucking gun like a BB gun. But yeah, nah, fuck that, bro. New York's its own animal. Those rats wouldn't die to BB guns. Those are some. I've never. When I thought you guys are exaggerating about the size of these fucking tunnel rats,
it's
bro,
scary. I was leaving 96th Street subway station in Broadway, and they were inside of the bush, but it was like 10 of them. It's like the scariest thing you'll ever see. It's like the bushes were like moving. I was like, ew.
Bro,
Scary.
the rats are huge. I don't think people anywhere, if you don't live in New York, the rats are fucking huge. They're like fucking dogs. They would eat a fucking hot dog, a wiener dog, a Dachshund easily. That's how big these things are. I would have never thought I'd seen some shit like that in my life, bro.
A hot dog, a wiener dog, a dachshund.
That's all.
They're 3 of the same dogs. Yeah.
They're all the same shit.
You just named the same dog 3 different ways.
Yeah, facts. I'm just trying to paint it vividly in these guys.
Like I'm remembering maybe rats are just attracted to like big dirt fields or something, because like I remember in my neighborhood, right, there were these houses. And some development company bought these houses up because they planned on building something there. And so they bought the houses up, they leveled the ground, and then they dug like a pit. And then I don't know what happened, like some permit shit or what, but that pit stood there for years. We used to go into that pit and play football. It was so fucking lit because it was like perfectly flat. It was like a clay, and then they had walls. You tackle people into the walls of the pit. It was so fucking hype. But the point of this was, I think there was an infestation of rats in there because my friend lived right next door to the pit, and then at night, on the top of his fence, you would just see dozens of rats running, and it was so gross seeing their big ass tails running all along that fence. I like, now that I'm thinking about it, I've never seen rats. We used to play in his backyard all the time, and I never seen rats there until that pit showed up. So maybe rats are just attracted to the dirt mounds.
They burrow. For sure.
Oh
they
my
burrow.
God. And that fucking place, they put these big cement like cylinders because they were going to build like something tall, right? So it's like the foundation for something, but it was like all stacked up. When we used to sit on them, they were like bleachers to watch the football game. It was just hype. This place was so fucking cool. We played so much football there. It was the best.
Fire.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Good times. And better news, Mario dropped that new fucking trailer. I don't know if you guys seen it. Shit looked pretty good.
Bro, I just finished watching Rise of Gru, which Illumination made. What a incredible, they got it. I have all faith that this movie is gonna be. Yeah, he's a little kid. It goes back. It's like a prequel to like Gru. And I love it because in the regular movie they call him Big Boss, and then in this movie they call him Mini Boss because he's a little kid. Mini Boss. It's just so funny, yo. It's such a great movie. Illumination, they understand what they're doing. They have the assignment. They got the good actors. I think this is gonna be like a smash fucking hit.
Before we go into Mario movie, did you see the Disney Plus shit that they have for Gru? It's like a
No.
30-second, maybe a little longer,
Yes.
a 5-minute
The Minion,
animation.
like the Minion movies. Yeah, the Minion shorts.
Luca loves that shit. I actually
Yo.
love it myself.
Fire.
It's interesting. But Disney's been doing a good ass job of making these little. Poochie, you would even like some of it. Go to Disney Plus one day with Liana and shit. They got
I
no
gotta
speaking.
correct you. I don't think it's on Disney. I think Illumination is not on Disney. Illumination is on Netflix. So I think you're watching that on Netflix. If
No,
I'm
it's
not
Disney
correct.
Plus. Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Guardian of the Galaxy and all that shit's on there.
Tony,
Yeah,
who's your
Marvel's owned
favorite
by
minion?
Disney. It wouldn't be anywhere else, I don't think.
Tony, who's your favorite minion?
The yellow one. Oh fuck! I don't know. There's like they're all the
like
same.
the little guy?
Yeah.
The little yellow guy?
Mario, bro.
They have names. I think one of theirs name is Josh, or I think
Wait, they have just normal dude
they have
names?
names. They have names, and they speak Minionese, but they also speak Spanish. They speak
Minionese.
Japanese. They speak all these languages, but they also
See,
speak Minionese.
They messed up. They could have just had him speak Esperanto and then they'd be set everywhere they go.
Yeah, it's a possibility that's what they're speaking. But yeah, they say a lot of words in Spanish to other people in the movie. A lot of the words they'll say Spanish. It's a really cute movie. Like I like Illumination. They're a fantastic fucking. It's like Pixar. They're their own little house. They
I
create
do
their
thi-
own movies.
I do think
No,
though.
they're good at what they do.
No, yeah, they are, and that's why I think that Super Mario movie is good because the trailer alone, I mean, got a lot of people hyped. Like I'm hyped to watch it. You know, like that shit is gonna. That fucking Rainbow Road in that last trailer that popped out.
It looked good.
I like the promotional material before this. They put out a website of the Mario Plumber site, and you can go look
Yeah.
at it. It's just they're like world building, and you can call a number, and you could hear Mario talk. It's like a plumbing service. I thought that was very cool that they did that. They didn't have to do any of that shit, but like this is a very good way to promote the movie.
Yeah, and like you see that they got the boots out for it, right? Mario boots.
Yeah, Red Wing.
Yeah,
That's pretty fucking cool that they're doing all this world building that I feel like is very fucking cool. Red Wing created a Mario's boots.
I might get them because I'm supposed to wear boots like that.
I
for
don't
work.
think you could. I don't think you can wear them. I don't think they're wearable.
Are they steel toe?
I'm not too sure.
They
They're
gotta
Red
be.
Wing. Red Wings usually are steel toe.
Yeah. I mean, you can have. There's shoes that don't have it. But
Yep. The trailer gave us more of like the Mario Kart stuff. We got to see power ups. It is
Yes.
interesting seeing Donkey Kong use a power up.
he goes
And I
red
don't-
too.
And I don't know how I feel about the Donkey Kong voice just sounding like Seth Rogen. I'd like Seth Rogen. I think he's fun as hell. But the Donkey Kong just sounded like Seth Rogen. I'm not completely sold
I
on.
didn't notice that. He just
Yeah.
sounded like Seth Rogen.
I think
He's just Seth Rogen, dude. There's no voice attempt at
When
all. It's
you-
just Seth Rogen.
When you watch that one show, what's the show that we all like? That's fucking the anime killing superheroes, anti-hero shit.
Invincible?
He's
Yeah,
in that show at
Invincible.
the end, and you could clearly when he talks, you're like, yeah, that's Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is Alan, the alien? Is that-
He's
Yeah.
the guy with the one eye.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Alan.
I do
Um,
think
They
How
also
did it-
released
alright,
a
so
trailer too.
This trailer, not my favorite, but it was cool. This one actually showed me though that the people making the movie love Mario.
Yes.
Like there was just like a vibe. Like there were like little things, right? Like they showed off the like the shortcut on Rainbow Road. Like I don't know if you remember on Mario 64 or Mario Kart, you could jump off the cart, like off the track. Like they do that, and I'm like, okay, that's a nice like nod to a lot of people's like main Mario Kart game.
There's a shot in that trailer that's just straight up showing that it's the first stage from Mario 64. What is that one? Bob-omb Valley or whatever. Whatever the first painting you jump into.
That. That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at all.
I didn't.
Yeah,
notice
there's
that.
there's a cannon, and it looks just like the cannon you jump into in that stage. And then off in the distance, there's like a floating island.
Okay.
Awesome.
I didn't see that.
Probably there's a big womp up there.
They also had the little like on the Mario Kart Party or the game Mario Kart. You know how you could just you pick the vehicle, the attachments or whatever. They had it there too. I don't know. You seen it or not? It's just right there at the bottom of the entrance. They had the car with the wing thing and the tires. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. They added that shit in there like that.
I like that Mario fell out of his car, landed on a Koopa, and the Koopa just became a shell. Like I'm like, yeah, that's just like the game. Then he had the shell, and he's just like, bloop, hits the other car with it. It just was like, all right, they're going for like a fun ride in this, and it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think that the movie is going to be better than some of the failures I think of the movie, because I'm still not down with the Chris Pratt voice. I think he is definitely trying to do a tiny hint of an accent. I'm still not down. It's not the Mario that I would expect, but it's fine. It's good. You're not gonna notice it after about an hour of the movie.
Pucho, but he dropped quite a few Mario sounds. There was some like whoop, ha, wahoo, like you got some of those in the trailer. I was like, all right, Chris Pratt trying to do something, I'd say every trailer that's come out, Chris Pratt has sounded less bad to me. I don't know. He got
better with time, or with each trailer he got better.
I mean, I don't know. I think his voice is already cut, so I think that maybe they're. I don't know. Maybe it's just growing on me. But what's up, Doi?
Maybe they did the thing with Sonic where they intentionally released very little so that everybody could like hype it up. Maybe they did something like that. But I agree. The more I hear, I'm like, oh, maybe it's not gonna be so bad. But I was saying, one thing that's cool about this is that you guys will be introducing your kids to Mario for like the first time visually, like actually. Instead of like it being a game. I know you visually watch a game, but this is going to be something you could like take your kids to watch, and I thought that was cool.
I am hyped.
As soon as this movie was announced, I was like, all right, I bought some Mario Legos. I started showing my daughter, oh, look at the old Mario cartoon. We could put some Mario gameplay, like just, let's watch the trailer. Like I want her to be hyped to watch a movie. She loves Mario and Luigi. She loves these characters. She hasn't played any of these games. She only knows them through the trailers and by watching Let's Plays of Super Mario Odyssey. That's the only way she knows.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Same shit I do with Luca. Like he watched me play. He loved it. I showed y'all the video. Loved it.
He kept jumping and he kept laughing every time. He was crazy.
We watched a Let's Play with no comments. And boom, I fell asleep. He stayed up the whole time and watching the Let's Play, just stuck like glue watching Mario. I'm like, damn, bro, this made me back to when I was a kid. I first liked Mario. It's like, it's always a great feeling. You can implement things like that to your kids and they'll like the same things that you like growing up. I just wish I could have them focus on Star Wars. It's difficult. But either way.
It's a more mature movie. Your kid is literally 1. So like,
yeah, I know.
Give him a couple years. Okay? Even when I was like 7 and 8, I remember watching Star Wars and when I was a kid, feeling like the movies were boring. It took me till I was a little bit older to truly appreciate Star Wars.
Maybe that's why I like Episode 1 so much, because of the vehicles. Because I
was going to say there is something to the Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3 nostalgia, in that the lightsaber fights were fucking cool in those compared to the old ones. They're goofy. They're not realistic, apparently, as far as like how you would actually like optimally fight with a lightsaber, but they look cool. That's all I need.
That's why Darth Maul was my favorite villain, because he was the first with the doubles. I'm like, this motherfucker got a double. He ain't gonna die. Then the man gets chopped.
Are we gonna get a crossover between Sonic and Mario now?
Was there one?
Hopefully,
could happen.
Wreck-It Ralph 3. Let's go.
It's happened before. They have the video games, the Olympic games, where they could compete against each other. But they were kind of goofy because like Mario could beat Sonic in a foot race, and that's just not accurate.
Hell no.
Facts.
That's doing Sonic a little dirty.
Facts.
I mean, if it's the lore of the Sonic cartoon, Sonic only gets ultra fast when he grabs that ring. So maybe, or he used to have the Michael Jackson shoes, and those things used to make him run really fucking fast. You remember he had the special boots that used to make him run like he's zooming across? They look like the Michael Jackson shoes. They're just red, instead of black and white.
Was this part 3?
No, it's in Sonic 1. Sonic 1, like Sonic runs at a certain speed. He could get fast, but
And
there's
then,
the
yes,
red box. There's
the
the box to get
shoes.
the red shoes, and then he's like zooming, So I don't know.
I do think though.
Maybe he's not that fast. He's a little guy. He's a little hedgehog. Hedgehogs are like that big, all right? So maybe he feels fast in his little world. He's sprinting past blades of grass. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just not that quick,
I do think though. I want to go to the Mario World, theme park. I don't know how or when, but I gotta go just to enjoy it and stuff.
Isn't that in Florida, or is it in the one over in California?
It's in Orlando. The first one was.
It's open already. Like it just opened, right?
It just opened. Yeah. It's lit. Like the lines are crazy long though. You can only imagine.
I feel like they missed an opportunity not releasing the movie now, but yeah, like to coincide with, like, I think just the other day it was like 30 years of Mario or something like that.
I believe so.
And it's like that would have been the perfect opportunity to drop the movie, but
Yeah, no, agreed.
It's something like that. I think it's more than 30 years, but it's like 35, something like that.
Yeah.
When did the first Mario game come out? 80 something?
Oh, I don't know.
so
that
maybe
off the
40
top.
years or some shit like that.
Nah,
I don't know. Whenever the Mario arcade game came out, like 85, I think.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Out of curiosity, how has your opinions changed on the movie? So, like, for me, when the first trailer dropped, I was medium. I was like hyped out of like, I like Mario and I'm nostalgic for Mario and stuff like that. I'm gonna get to share this with my kid. But I wasn't convinced that the movie was gonna be good. And then with the trailer that came out right before they did the whole plumbing like commercial video, that one I was like, all right, I'm sold. Like, this is gonna be a good movie. I know this is a good movie. So for me, that's when that changes. When that, I think that might have been the second or third trailer drop.
I didn't like the first trailer. I wasn't a fan of it, and I was not on board with the first trailer. Even a little bit with the second trailer, I was like, okay, this could possibly be cool. But within that time, I started to look into like the Minion movies, and I started to look at like what Illumination created, and I was like, okay, I started to become a little bit more of a fan of like their style of comedy, and I think they're gonna do fine.
I was the complete opposite. Like, I was hooked on the first one, and then as more trailers came out, I was like, all right, you already got me. Like, I don't need to. And then the trailer just became, all right, cool, another one. Like, whatever. So, yeah. I think it's... Go ahead. Mateo.
I think my opinion has been about the same. The movie's going to make so much money. It's going to make just loads, just truckloads and truckloads of money. I think that I'll probably think the movie's all right. I don't know if I'm going to be blown away by it. It's definitely going to be a more for like the newcomers to the Super Mario world, right? And that's fine. Mario's for kids. Like there's no problems with that. I think that y'all with kids, y'all are gonna have a blast. It's gonna be so much fun to experience those movies with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
I
wait.
think there's like an extra element of seeing the excitement of your child and like it like giving you energy. I feel like that's gonna be a big aspect of that.
Number one Halloween costumes this year is gonna be like Mario,
For
Luigi,
sure.
Princess,
Toad, Yoshi,
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Which are perfectly good costumes.
Do you think Fortnite
How do you
and
think-
Nintendo are gonna cross over?
100%.
They would be goofy if they didn't do some kind of event, honestly.
Bro, I just started playing it, bro. They
Nintendo
got
doesn't
all
normally
type of
give
shit.
their shit away.
I mean, that's fair, actually. What is the last like real crossover they've done?
But it's just notorious. Anything that comes out, it's on Fortnite. Like something is gonna be there.
Did you know there was a Sonic the Hedgehog crossover into Monster Hunter?
Did not.
What?
You can get like a mount that is like its tails, and there's like some Sonic armor you can put on your little like cat companion.
It's awesome.
Did not know that. I don't play Monster Hunter. But no, I think it's colorful. That movie is anything but beautiful, bro. Like, I don't know. The colors pop out so good. So fucking good. I wonder if they're going to have a 3D. They're going to have to have a 3D version of it.
Do people still go and see 3D movies?
Hell yeah, people still go and see
I
that.
hate that shit.
You hate
This
that
is
shit.
so pointless.
I mean,
To have
don't
it
watch
pop
it. The
Yeah, like, it's just so weird.
Bro.
Kids love 3D.
IMAX, all right?
Kids are-
Just the existence of it is just enough to ruin.
I
it.
got something that I've been wanting to
Hold
talk
on, wait,
about.
but I wanted to ask a question. Do you guys think with the recent success of the Last of Us television show, and now, like you just said, Mateo, that Mario is gonna make a shitload of money, like whether it's gonna cause like a resurgence in video game like movies and shit, like you think it's gonna like boom?
I mean, it's possible that it could, right? But like, there's not a lot of series as beloved as like Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario. Like, there's what would be the other series they would try? Like, they've tried to do Uncharted. I think it kind of missed.
Did they come out
from
with a
what I've seen.
Minecraft movie? Because that feels like that would just kill. Like,
I've thought I had heard there was one in development. I don't think one has been released yet, though.
They
I don't
came out with
see.
like the story mode.
I don't think they'll come out with a movie for Minecraft. Like, is there like meat there for a fucking movie?
yeah, the whole idea behind the game is you could build your own world and your own story. So literally, they just have the Lego blocks to create any story they want. All we know is the main guy's name is Steve. Right?
I mean, look at what Lego's done.
Allegedly, there is a Minecraft movie in development, but there's been no news on it since like last year.
That's crazy.
So what were you gonna say though?
I was gonna say, are we ready to move on to the next topic?
Oh, why would that?
It's the whole conversation.
Because I don't want to like derail everything with my comment.
So it's
See,
not about Mario.
No,
See,
not
I
at
know
all.
I know Doey's secret though,
What?
because he didn't go offline in Steam before he started recording this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This guy, bro, out of control. What are your guys' expectation on the movie now? Like, because I know we made like guesses, like how it's gonna end or what's they're gonna introduce. I know Pucho's been waiting on his sequel from the I don't know what Mario movie that he didn't get enough of when he was a kid.
The
But
Super Mario Brothers movie.
do you think that they're gonna leave like a little bit of hints, like, oh, hey, we're gonna make a part 2, or you think they're only gonna make?
For sure.
Yeah.
There's going to be 25 Super Mario. No, there's probably going to be at least 3. I bet they're aiming for a trilogy.
You didn't see they had Rosalina pull up.
Yes.
So she's from Mario Galaxy. So now, like, I feel like that's gonna be the avenue for like the next story. Is like, all right, we dealt with the Bowser problem. Now we have a galactic problem, and
Isn't
who
that
knows where
blue?
they go from there, man?
Wasn't that blue flame from the galaxy
The
era?
star, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's lit. They should make a Donkey Kong motherfucking movie. They should.
Yeah, a Donkey Kong Country movie would be
Yeah,
fire.
it would be
Got
very,
Trixie
very
Kong, Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong,
Fire.
Cranky Kong.
Hopefully, they're setting everything up for that. Hopefully, if they were smart,
all of this
they
is
would.
a setup to make the Donkey Kong Country movie.
You know what? I'm kind of down for the Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Same.
They introduced Zelda and all of them in their own little standalone things, and their big crossover event, Super Smash Bros.
Ooh.
There you go.
Bro, a Zelda
I can't
movie?
wait for the Paperboy movie. All right, people have been sleeping on Paperboy. I need to see a movie about a little boy delivering newspaper.
I want a dark and gritty Animal Crossing where it's just like this capitalist nightmare. You're just stuck in debt.
Yeah, paying this asshole.
You're a capitalist for real.
You know, one of my favorite things about wrestling were the battle royales, where like everybody came out. I love that the guy who played Mankind came out 3 times. He got to 3 chances
In one WrestleMania.
In the
He
Royal
got
Rumble.
3 fucking chances.
In the
all right?
Royal Rumble.
Came out as Cactus Jack,
Came out as all 3.
Mankind, Nick Foley. Did he just come out as himself?
It was my favorite thing, so I'd love to see something like that. Maybe even a part in the Mario movie where they're all like forced to fight each other, and it's some sort of shit like that.
And
that would be very cool.
In that trailer, it showed a little bit of it. I know it showed the Mario Kart battles, and it definitely looked like when Donkey Kong took that energy up, or the energy boost or whatever, he turned red. There was a fighting going on there. But like I said, that would be awesome. You set it all up for a big cross match of Smash Bros. Because when was the last Smash Bros. Release? Like what, 4 years ago? 5?
A while. Yeah, it's been a
Wii
minute.
U.
So
It came out on the Wii U, the same one that's on the Switch now, right? It's the same
Ultimate,
Smash
is that what is that the current one?
Yeah, Ultimate.
They should. I mean, it'd be time to drop a new one. But yeah, Donkey Kong movie will blow Mario movie out of the water, I think.
You're crazy. No way. Mario's way more popular than Donkey Kong.
You trying to say that was a bad take?
Like, if we're talking about the success of the movie, yeah, it's a horrible fucking take.
That's crazy.
You think that in the movie theaters, the Donkey Kong movie is going to get more asses in seats than the Mario movie?
A little bit.
No
I could
way.
find 20 people right now who have never played Donkey Kong Country. Bro.
Facts.
No, I'm talking shit. I mean, that's more for people who actually
I
enjoyed
do want to say, I'm with Doey, all right? A Mario Cinematic Universe Royal Rumble would be hype. And they need to go in the 1995 Shawn Michaels storyline, okay? Shawn Michaels was the first man into the Royal Rumble, and he outlasted all 29 wrestlers, okay? That shit was hype. He did. They didn't want my man to win. They put him first so he would lose, and he outlasted. He made it all the way to the end, and he won the Royal Rumble. I don't remember if that was the year there was the controversy where like he fell out the ring, but then he like grabbed onto the ropes, and then they had like the instant replay, like did his foot touch the ground? That shit was hype, yo. That shit was hype.
People don't understand, bro. When you're the first in that Royal, it's rough.
I think people
Are you implying, Tony, that the system was rigged against him? Is that what we're implying here? That
I think
that
they
it's a
put
rigged situation.
They put the strongest man first because they had to balance it out for the rest of the players.
Nah, Vince McMahon did not want Shawn Michaels to win the Royal Rumble, so he threw him in there first. He's like,
it's a biblical tale. It's a tale of biblical times. All right, King David, the guy I was named after. All right, he saw a woman from his crib. She was chilling out on her balcony. He's like, who is this woman? And he was like, guards, go find me who this woman is. And then they go and they said, all right, she's this person's wife. And he's like, The next war, he put that nigga in the vanguard, bro. Dead.
Killed.
Got the wife. Yeah. And then like the children that he had from that apparently like weren't good. Blah, blah, blah. Some biblical shit.
I love how confused Tony is.
I just want to know, you got your name from that for real?
Yeah, King David.
Of
Yeah.
course. All Davids get their name from King
David and Goliath, all that. Yeah.
I've never heard of this. This is a new report.
You've never
Tell
heard
you,
of David versus
Ask
Goliath?
your mom. She
Yo,
was a part of the Jehovah's.
Stop it, Pooch. Stop it.
Sorry,
And yes,
he
she
said
was.
that, and you said I've never heard of this. So.
That all Davids are named after King David?
And
Every
yeah,
single one.
Either directly or indirectly, for sure.
That though. I'll give you that.
I mean, it's a Christian name. or Hebrew name or however you want to shake it
It's
out.
a Jehovah thing, though. You said it was a Jehovah thing.
No, it's
Oh.
like it's in the
biblical.
Bible.
Yeah.
It's in the Christian
Okay.
Bible.
My
I said
bad.
your mom would know about it because she was a part of the Jehovah's.
For a brief time.
Your mom was a Jehovah?
That's
Yeah.
what
This
she
is
says.
new.
Well, this is a
She-
brand
yeah.
new report. I've
Huh?
never heard.
Do you
of
want to
it.
hear another new
Celia,
report?
hit us with the comment section, Celia.
Not only did my mom say she was a Jehovah knocking on doors, but Dika, she was also in the Lion Kings. This is my mother's claim to fame.
The Lion King, the
The Lion
animated
King.
No,
film.
no,
The
no.
Latin
The
Kings.
Latin Kings, the gang.
Oh, I was like, the Lion King, what?
It did sound like he said that, but I knew that's not what he said. so-
I looked at my mom like,
Yo,
bro, get the
big
heck out of
gay-
here.
Wait,
Yeah.
she was doing both at the same time.
She was knocking
Yeah.
on your door,
Door to
and
door.
if you didn't accept Jehovah into your life, they gang jumped you right then. The Latin Kings will not
If
fuck
you
you
know-
up.
If you,
You
ain't
know,
about Jesus, I'm gonna hit you with this K. All right.
Going door to door would be a pretty good way to scope out someone's house.
That's so beast.
How you feel about Jesus?
Oh, they got a nice couch and a TV there. Boom. Come back later.
Di que muchachos, ven. Di que they all start stomping.
Where did that Spanish come from? Yo, that's-
I mean, I assume the Latin Kings talk Spanish, right?
No, they
I
actually
wanna-
speak Latin. It's wild.
Shut the fuck up out there. Oh man. But yeah. If you haven't done so already, ladies and gentlemen, hit that big capital subscribe button there. The big S. Subscribe to our channel. Share us. We're on Discord. Discord's now on PlayStation. Gonna get that shit set up. Come fuck with us. Come talk with us while we do some power washing. Also, share with your family and friends. Don't be afraid. Share us. But yeah, my mom was bugging with that story. I don't know how we transitioned to the Latin Kings and Jehovah Witnesses off of Mario topics, but it's the
I have some words to say.
oh,
Carlos Mencia,
Oh,
aka
my
Carlos
fucking-
Mencia.
I thought we were done
Okay,
with
is
this.
still under fire. Years later, won't admit that he stole jokes from the greatest to the lowest. Everyone he met, he stole jokes from, and he still won't admit it. And he is always gonna be a sad part of comedy.
Going on to our next topic. What's definitely bothering me. I don't know why, but simulators, video games in general, right? It's great to play, you have fun with it, but there's a thing going on with simulating games. Goat Simulator, Police Simulator, Power Wash Simulator. All these simulating games getting so much love and they're doing so well. Why the fuck is that? I don't get it.
Have you seen the new one that's tearing the charts up?
Power Wash
Contraband-
Simulator.
No, Contraband Police, dude. It's like Papers, Please, but in 3D.
I did not know that. I didn't know.
I don't know if
know
it's a
that.
straight up simulator game. I kind of put it in the same thing though. It has the same janky look to it as some of the simulator games.
Yo,
There's
Power
one simulator game that I want to play is Mortuary's Assistant or some shit like that.
That one looks
where you
terrifying, dude.
It looks good. It's like a horror game. You're inside of like a morgue. You got to open up bodies and take body parts out. I was like, this looks cool.
Shout out to Power Wash Simulator because you made people buy the game 2 times, and people love it. I was just reading a tweet just today. 30,000 reviews, 97% all positive.
hmm
Those are fantastic numbers for a fucking Power Wash Simulator. We're pressure washing fucking things. You don't even want to do it in real life, but in the video game, it's the best thing to do.
That's because it's better in the video game, dude. You don't have to be out in the hot. You don't have to be sweating your ass off.
I asked Pucho this.
So you don't understand the appeal.
Yeah,
But I
don't.
think you do. You're just not thinking hard enough. You like playing these military shooters. What are you doing if not living the job of a military man, right? This is just other jobs. That's it. There's games where you play like a race car driver. Like, and when you play Gran Turismo, you're just playing the life of some guy who's just out there driving cars. Like I don't know.
Every game is a simulator game. Is this
Not every game, but a lot of them. A lot of them are simulating. Like, I don't think Mario's a simulator game. Like, I don't know what it'd be simulating, but there are plenty of games.
It's simulating the life of the average Italian plumber in America.
I think there are plenty of games that I wouldn't classify them as simulators, but they're not much different. Like, maybe there's some little added elements like a story or something like that, but like ultimately they exist for you to enjoy living in the life or the shoes of another person, and what that person's doing may be killing people, which everybody's totally okay with, but as soon as you flip the script and do mundane things, it's like, oh, how is this a game? How is it? I think we have an issue where if you're not killing people in a video game, then it isn't a real game. It's like it's looked down upon.
It's like Dear Esther, one of my favorite games, one of the original walking simulator games.
Terrible.
Dude, it's gorgeous. I love the writing in it, but is it a game? I could go either way, because it's a lot more of like an interactive experience kind of thing, right? Which you could say is a game, but
I don't know.
It's an interesting one.
I mean, I did play, but
no, sorry. To answer your question more honestly, right? The appeal of these games are like, part of it is just like enjoying just doing something different. I don't know. It's fun to deep dive into something that you're not that familiar in. So like when Doey got me to play SnowRunners, like it got me interested in truckers and trucking. Like it's just something I never thought about. What do these people have to go through to haul materials from one place to another place? It's like, yo, there may be some interesting drama along the way, and I just never thought about that. So like there is an interesting aspect of like deep diving into something we aren't familiar with. And I've enjoyed these games since I was a child. One of my favorite fucking games, there was this demo that came out in like 1999, right around the time when the DualShock controller came out. It was a cooking game, and it was like all in Japanese, and you had to like cut the vegetables with the analog sticks, and you had to pour a beer, and you had to like stir the pot. And it's like literally all you're doing is like cooking in the kitchen. And it's simulating some aspect of being a chef, and I thought this game was just amazing. I was like, this is so cool. So I've always been fascinated in playing games that are unlike other games. I think there's that aspect to the simulators, and it's just perfect. Like let me hang out, let me get on a party chat with some friends. I'm gonna take some shots, have a podcast going in the background, and play something that doesn't demand so much of my attention. You know what I mean?
Do you think that playing these simulators long enough, you'd be able to do that job in real life?
No.
I think that there's some things you could take. I think there's some amount of skill set you could take. There's like playing a cooking game is not going to necessarily teach you how to cook, but it might give you an idea of what kind of ingredients go together, or what the vague step by step would be. Yeah. It doesn't mean you're going to be able to look at a steak in the pan and be like, okay, I should flip the steak now. But it's going to at least make you realize, oh, I need to flip the steak when I'm cooking it. I need to do that as part of it, or I should season the steak before I put it in the pan or something, right?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I don't know, man. I play Construction Simulator. I think I could hook a road up. All right, give me the heavy machinery. I'll dig up the old road. I'd flatten it out, lay some gravel out. Go get the cold planer to lay some asphalt down. You know what I'm saying? Then get some of the guys to draw the lines. I'll pull this shit off. All right. But no. In all seriousness, I do think it is interesting to like learn something new. And like you just said it, like look, I got the rough process of like how to dig up an old road and how to lay new road down. I know the rough process of like how to build a house, like just because the game gives you like some aspects of that.
So Taco Master really makes you a taco master.
Taco Master makes you a master of enduring wet sounds. Okay, that whole game is so fucking wet. Like,
I mean,
I got the Taco Master Platinum on the Vita.
Overcooked probably gives us an idea of just how bad we would be in the kitchen if we all were working in a commercial kitchen.
Gosh,
Doey and Tony would be stepping out back to get into a screaming match.
bro.
Bucho and I would just be quietly doing our own thing, just chopping veggies.
Pissed off that these guys are wasting time arguing and we're trying to get ahead on the cooking schedule. Yeah, I'd be pissed.
I think there's some sims though, like being a doctor or a surgeon. That's definitely one. That's like I don't think anything can help you with that. But yo, I think flying a plane, a real life simulator. I think you'd be able to fly a plane in real life. I honestly think there's actually proof that someone actually fucking did that.
It's. There's a lot of things like that too. Like I used to read a lot of survival books as a kid, and I can guarantee you like 90% of that would not stick in my brain during a survival situation. But maybe if I were in that kind of situation just from reading those books, I would have remembered something that would be useful, right? And same kind of thing with like some of the games you can play. It's most of it probably not going to stick. Most of it you're probably not going to think of if you were in that situation. But there's tiny bits, there's aspects.
Yeah.
Speaking of survival stuff, did you hear about that guy that he was stuck in like the snowdrift? And the way that he got rescued is he hooked his phone up and sent a text and flew and hooked it up to a drone and flew it up high enough that it got signal and was able to send out the text.
Whoa.
How do you even do that? Like you just hit send and then you fly it up and hope that it keeps retrying?
I'm assuming that's what he did.
But so he had a drone during a snow slide?
Yeah, he got stuck in like a snowdrift or something. Like his car went off the road or something like that.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he was like I'm here thinking.
And and then he was like stranded in the in a snowdrift on the side of the road out in the middle of nowhere in the country.
Nobody knows. A lot of people think that that's not dangerous. People do not understand how dangerous that is. It just happened in Buffalo this year. Like 30 people died, and like a majority of them were people who pulled over that got stuck on the side of the road in the snow. They went to sleep. They did whatever they did. Never woke back up.
Wow.
Chimneys got blocked. People got gassed inside their house. Like what's the gas called?
Carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide.
Monoxide.
Yeah.
But
that's the reason. That's the reason I never lit my fireplace during like all the winter storms is because I haven't had it serviced and I didn't want to die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Service? What do you mean service?
You have to check to make sure there's no leaks or anything, and to make sure it's clear. All that fun stuff.
Leaks?
Yeah.
Aren't you just fucking throwing? Aren't you just throwing fucking logs in there and lighting that shit up and let the smoke go out?
If it's blocked, you're dead.
Yeah, if it's blocked, if there's cracks where smoke is getting into the house or something, like there's some risk associated there. You're supposed to have
never owned a chimney. I'm in Florida.
You don't remember when we played Valheim? You need proper ventilation, or you start to take smoke inhalation damage. You start. That's
one of the coolest things about Valheim. They did so many cool things in that game, dude.
Yeah, I never.
Valheim is just a Viking simulator.
Sons of the Forest. What is Sons of the Forest but a forest simulator?
That's been my experience every time I've gone to the forest.
I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I'm not a fan of simulators, but it's just
you don't remember that arcade game where you were an 18-wheeler trucker and you had to get to each city in like an amount of time? It was just fun.
Tony, every sports game is a simulator game.
That's a fact.
Big facts. What is the stat?
I don't know. But damn, it is.
Yeah, they're simulator RPGs is what they are.
Damn, is every
you
game
have
really
stats, you have to level up your skills.
That's crazy that everything is a simulator for real. Because now that I think about it, even doing the Call of Duty storyline that's not a simulator. That's a campaign.
I think it's different. Like it's more of like a story-driven experience.
Yeah,
but some aspect of that game is just like think about playing like Medal of Honor, right? As a better example, a lot of the missions you play in Medal of Honor, while a lot of it is fictional, they're taking real life events and weaving kind of like a make-believe story in the middle of that. But the vibe you're supposed to get is like you're reliving, like, yo, John Bastille just storming, like, you know, running through the beaches of Iwo Jima and shit like that. Like, you're supposed to get that feeling, you know, when you're playing these Medal of Honor games. I don't know, like, are those simulator games? I wouldn't call them that, because that's sort of like you're like you're conflating too much. Like, everything's gonna lose meaning if you live like that. But some aspect of these games, there are simulating something, and the thing that people find enjoyment out of this stuff is just living the life of another person. Really, like,
what is your enjoyment with PowerWash Simulator? What's the first thing that come to mind when you play?
Ding.
Oh,
I love
man. That's
when
a
you
good
fully
ding.
clean. I love when you fully clean an object and it goes ding ding. There's an addiction.
It's hitting a pleasure center in your brain is what happens every time that ding hits.
It's the
and
same
it
thing.
releases some endorphins.
It's like when I played Mafia and they said, forget about it. It's just, it's like, I need
Hit you with
this.
endorphins. Here's
Yeah.
some Italian man
Maybe-
say,
maybe
Forget about it.
Tony, what's your favorite hedgehog simulator game? I'm a Sonic 2 man myself.
GTA is a simulator then at this point.
It's a crime simulator.
Barely. Bunch of Christian people doing their
I think
godly
Sonic and
things.
Knuckles. Sonic 3 is considered the best Sonic game. But Sonic and Knuckles, man, they did a lot of cool things. One, the fact that you could play as two different characters, like you get like two storylines out of this thing. The fact that they had like seasons or like time changes in the episodes, in the levels, you'd get like midway through the level, and then the level would change from like spring to fall, and all the colors would change, and a lot of the particle effects in that game were crazy. Then the illest part of Sonic and Knuckles was that the top of the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge had a slot so you could put a Sega Genesis cartridge into it. So you could play. You could put Sonic 1, boom, into Sonic and Knuckles, and they did some shit with the data so that then you're playing Sonic 1 and you could play through the game as a Knuckles. And so, like, I would play Sonic 1, Sonic 2 with Knuckles. I thought that was so fucking fire. Like, that was just something that my little kid brain could never imagine, but it was there, you know? And I am not a Sonic fan. I don't like those games in the grand scheme of things, but that was incredible to me. So shout out to them for that.
I kind of see maybe some enjoyment. Like, I did the landscaping one, like the demo of the landscaping, and I was cutting grass. And I hate grass cutting in real life. I couldn't do it. But messing with the little mower and getting those perfect little crossbox lines, I'm actually whipping it. You know what I mean? But
we're in a new little era of gaming is what I think it is. There's like this new kind of trend of like chill gaming, cozy gaming, whatever you want to call it. It's like it's some kind of, you know, we used to like a lot of the discourse used to be about like casual gamers and what makes a casual gamer, and we've moved beyond that now, I think, where we have just games that probably are just made for people that are more casual gamers, but they work because, like Bucho said, you go and you have some drinks, you put on a podcast, you put on a show on the other screen or something, and you just zone out. You're doing a little like goofy game, and you got your own other entertainment going on here on the other screen or something. Did he come back with a full-on meal? A bunch of beers.
The fuck?
Just seltzer water.
and chewing something.
Oh, I thought those
over
were
there.
beers you were drinking.
But no, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the simulator games just came all at once, and everybody was just leeching onto it. I mean, more power to them, bro. I'm not trying to shit on simulator game. I just don't know how you get hooked. It is a drug.
That thing is shiny. That thing is very shiny.
That thing is super waxed. But
Some would say the best handheld.
It's so shiny that I want to get my thumb and just touch it right in the middle of the screen.
talking about
Yeah. What does that segue to?
Talking about
Bro, you fucked my whole shit up.
I'll say this. You know what else is fire about PowerWash Simulator in
Piece of shit.
particular? It's dropping in play. You jump in a level, you could clean some shit. As soon as your wife is like, you need to come do some shit. Come wash these dishes. Come take out the trash. I can turn the game off completely. When I get back into that game, it resumes right where I left off. There's no downtime in the game. And I think that shit is fire. Like, I just finished cleaning the car, but I still got the driveway to clean. Butcher got to take the trash out and do other things. I got to turn the PlayStation off. Then when I come turn it back on, I'm right where I left off. And PowerWash Simulator is so fucking good that I played through the entire thing on PC Game Pass. I played the whole fucking thing, and then I just bought it again on the PS5. The game is fire.
But you could solve a lot of your problems if you hooked up your power washer in real life. So like your wife comes and tells you to wash the dishes, you just hook up your power washer and you just blast those dishes. You need to take the trash out, you could just blast it out the door with your power washer.
You have a hole in that shit so fucking quick. Don't do that. For our next topic, boys, comes to sports and how sports. Let me put it like this: are sports rigged? Not though.
All sports are rigged.
Are sports? Sorry, drinking and talking. Are sports rigged to the point where it's controlled? Everybody knows.
Tony is saying "r" so many times that all I see is a pirate. He's like "r r r," matey. That's all I'm seeing.
It's been a long night of drinking, bro.
My favorite pirate joke is from the movie Dodgeball, where they keep referring to that guy as Steve the Pirate the entire movie. And then finally at the end, he's like, he got his hair cut. He's in a polo shirt. And the guy's like, look, it's Steve the Pirate.
That's right.
But earlier in the movie, the dude's wearing pirate gear. He's like, we have a guy that dresses like a pirate on our team.
I remember that shit.
I don't remember this at all.
Oh my god, it's my favorite joke from that entire stupid movie. I would say probably not, Tony. I don't know, man. People talk a lot about boxing. They talk a lot about boxing is the main one that I hear in particular. People try to claim is rigged.
Jake Paul just got his ass whooped.
I think that he did. I think that the refs in boxing kind of suck. Not the refs, the scorekeepers, whoever it is that is taking the score. I disagree with a lot of the judges' decisions, but I don't know if I would straight up call it rigged or not. There has been evidence previously of some organized crime influences in boxing, so I can't say it never happens.
What about you?
What do you think? Like, how would you rig a basketball game?
Yeah.
By taking certain players out. By taking certain players out.
Like penalties can only do so much, right? Like,
but by taking
they could do a lot. You didn't see? There's a documentary that came out not that long ago with there's the one referee who he got fired and maybe he got like jail time or something because he was placing bets on games or something like that, or he was placing bets on games that he wasn't a part of or something, but people deemed it to be unethical regardless. But he was a referee, and all these referees have their biases and things like that, but a lot of these referees apparently they have a lot of sway over the game, like just depending on what calls they're making. Like, they could change the game. Like, for example, Allen Iverson used to do a certain move where he would, like, dribble the ball, like, and hook his hand, and a lot of refs would just call that a travel. Like, you know, you do that enough times, you're going to disrupt the flow of the game. You're going to swap enough possessions that in a very competitive game could result in, just off the strength of those calls, flip the game in the favor of another team. So you wouldn't be able to rig it completely, but there's an amount of influence that a referee can have. Obviously, a judge fighting sports are more susceptible to this because a judge is going to determine the outcome if there's not like a knockout or something.
Yeah, and if there's not a knockout, like there's no. I don't think there's any recourse, right? Like you can't like appeal a score that a judge gives you in a round or something in boxing, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
I've-
there are cases where like the scores have been so egregious that investigations have occurred, but
Mhm.
like beyond that, I don't think somebody's like, "Oh, I disagreed with the decision. We need to appeal." I don't think that aspect exists or has been done. I've never heard of it. I've been watching boxing my whole life.
Yeah, same. I've heard about like they found out things and then they ruled the match differently because someone was like actually cheating. Like, did that dude that put the plaster in his gloves? Didn't he win that match the night of? But then they found out he put the plaster in and he retroactively lost the match or whatever.
No, they never retroactively did anything.
Really,
He got caught.
That sucks too because that guy that he fought never was able to fight again. Like he
All right.
permanently damaged him.
Yeah, you're talking of a different thing. Okay, I'm thinking of Antonio Margarito getting caught with the plaster in his gloves, but you're talking about
I don't remember
I forgot his name.
I
But yeah, that was bad. It was like he removed padding from his gloves
and replaced it with plaster.
Yeah, he fucked that guy up. Like,
Yeah.
How do you get away with that?
You shouldn't be able to really like there was
the
some
80s, man.
Don't they?
It's like,
The 80s. I thought
it's
it was recently.
the older the more you go back in time, the less stringent people were with sports rules. Now all those experiences, now there's a lot more like checks and balances. But
what sports do you think are rigged, Tony? All sports? What is your what is your take? Because I'm assuming from this topic that you feel that some amount of sports are rigged.
Any
chess is the most rigged sport. Okay.
Any
I don't know how the fuck you rig chess. Go
Well,
ahead,
you get that butt plug that they were talking about that vibrate. You don't remember?
any fighting sport.
Have you guys been getting ads for these butt plug things? It's all I've been seeing lately. It's overwhelming. It's like these ads where like there's not a butt plug, but it's like a sex toy a girl would wear, and then you have an app, and then you could like draw on the app, and it makes the girl's thing vibrate, and it. Like,
those are fun.
Yeah, so then you go around in public, and then she's like trying to order a latte, and you're like, yeah, I want you to come right in front of this barista.
So that just popped up on your phone for no reason?
Is that the tagline?
Yo, I swear to God, lately I've been scrolling Instagram or Facebook, and that shit's been popping up on me. It's weird.
I think we need Bucho to direct one of these commercials.
Word. That shit don't pop up for no reason, Pucho. That shit pops up because you've been searching and searching and searching. Going based off your last conversation we had when I said your phone hears you and it puts advertisements on your fucking phone. You're like, no, you got to search it. Nigga searching.
Well, I said there are other ways. There are ways that they get information from you that are vastly superior to listening to a conversation that it doesn't make sense to listen to you. That's what my claim was. And yeah, if I search this stuff up, sure, it would start coming up in my feed. But if I hung out with people recently that have searched for similar things, it'll also come up in my feed.
Tata. Whatever you do in your spare time, my brother. No problem.
Okay. So what were you going to say?
Seems like a fun thing to do with your spare time. Maybe not the specific barista example.
Mateo asked me a question, right?
Yeah, what sports do you think are rigged?
All fighting sports are rigged. Off red.
Even like UFC and whatnot, like just all fighting sports.
All of them are rigged.
The slap fighting, they know who's going to win that one beforehand.
That's new.
What does rigged mean?
Like it's set. Like Las Vegas has a set.
Somebody picks a winner, and then that person wins.
Yes.
How do like knockouts happen? Like the fighter,
I accidentally dropped my guard. Knock me the fuck out.
Cool. So the fighters are actors in this world. Okay.
No, they get knocked out seriously, but they just let themselves get knocked out.
Yeah, okay. They're playing. It's like WWF. They're playing to a script.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Speaking of that. Sorry for the derailment, but I was watching CNBC the other day, or MS, whatever that financial one is, right? And they are thinking. They're thinking about allowing betting in like wrestling matches, like WWE wrestling matches.
Oh my God, that's a bad
Which
idea.
is the wildest thing in the world to me that they're even trying to push for that. Yeah, betting. They're gonna allow you to bet
to see who's gonna win.
Like WrestleMania.
Betting. I'm like mattress firm betting. Oh, like what the fuck?
No,
Like, that's weird.
you can put bets on like WrestleMania and whatnot, which is wild to me though, because they're those are actually rigged. Like wrestling is scripted.
Yeah.
How are they going to allow betting?
Yeah, but you're betting on what you think the organization's going to choose. Like,
yeah, but there's people out there that like have knowledge of who's going to. I guess if you make a big bet, they'll investigate you a little bit or something.
It's just odd to me that anytime a football game, basketball game, or a soccer game is up, and Las Vegas just has the perfect fucking numbers all the time. They get 8.5 points. All of a sudden, you're muted.
There was a football player recently that came out and said that the whole NFL is scripted. So you know how there's always these crazy shits that go on with the players, and it showed when this person got their script in their eyes. Everybody gets their script at the beginning of the year.
Damn, that must suck for some people. Someone's reading the script and like, I'm gonna tear my ACL in the first game.
You guys are pieces of shit trying to make fun of me.
Everybody gets their script at the beginning. Like,
can you imagine the O-line script? They're like, yeah, you're going to get up every play and just set up blocks.
I mean,
every play, you're going to block for your offensive play. Like, that's the script for the whole season. That's
so
boring.
in the Cowboys game, when our kicker missed 4 back-to-back, more than he missed the whole entire year, the whole entire year. He missed 4 in one game. One game. He fucked up betting so bad. Vegas won. Everybody was screaming out, rig. Because there's no way a motherfucker who damn near perfect kicking field goals all season long, and in one game, he outdid his miss it for the whole season. And
you don't think it's possible, man? There's a whole concept in baseball called the yips, where like you get in your own head and you lose the ability to do the things you're known for, whether it be hitting, pitching, whatever. Like there's a whole concept. Like it's real easy to get in your head.
That's why you throw a couple bad pitches, and then you got the pitching team coming to the mound. They're like, all right, we need to talk to the pitcher. We need to get his head right because he's fucking up right now. His head ain't in this right now. Like,
I've never heard. That was the first time I heard that. Jibbies, you said?
The yips.
The yips. Never heard.
I think you're not allowed to say that in front of pitchers during a game, though. Like it's like
because that automatically gets in your head.
I never heard of that before either.
We don't watch baseball. I don't know.
Think about when we're playing 2K. If we get scored on too many times in a row, we're like, all right, let's call a timeout. Let's just let's take a break. Let's reset and let's turn your fucking Vita off. We're recording though. What the fuck? You'll call a timeout and then you're like, all right, let's reset. We're not in this right now. Let's get our mental right.
I've gotten back into Rocket League real heavy, dude. And like even that momentum in Rocket League, man, you get 2 scored on you in a row.
Nah,
you're gonna fall apart at some point if they're just scoring them in 5 seconds every time they touch the ball.
Me and my dog Pucho have come back from greater defeats and won. Like, bro, we were down 4-1 or some shit like that. It was games we came back.
We've made some crazy comebacks.
But the problem that fucks me is this guy below me. You know why? Because before I even get the chance to kick the fucking ball, don't fucking miss, bitch. Oh my fucking God. I was like, yo, and then I fucking whiff so hard.
And now imagine you're the kicker on a football team in this do or die situation, and your team is also telling you they're on the sideline before you go out for the kick. Hey man, just kick it straight. Just do what you do. Just don't miss.
Isn't that why they say?
My favorite part about Rocket League is that I used to give Tony so much shit that Tony was like, bro, I'm not gonna play this game with you anymore if you keep giving me shit. So now, then we went through like a whole year and a half of playing Rocket League, where I never said anything to him. And every time he fucked up, he would still get mad at me. He'd be like, I know what you're thinking.
And then I can feel him going like this. Like if I was the one hitting that shit, I would have made it. Like, bro, he does it in 2K. He does it in 2K. Like, it's so bad because it's like, bro, I get the ball. I know how I shoot. Grab, gather, release. That's way too fucking slow, nigga. You barely made that shit. You barely made that shit. You gotta go faster. I'm like,
I'm not gonna lie. That's what I hear everyone saying. Yo, you take too long to shoot.
My guy shoots
Tony
slow.
takes too long to do everything. He takes too long to shoot, takes too long to pass.
I
He
have
be
vision.
holding the rock for 8 seconds out of on a 24-second clock. I'm like, pass the fucking ball.
I have vision. But yeah, I think it's rigged. I think some aspects is rigged. But there's just no way, bro. How's Vegas know every fucking... Bro, down to a science.
When you have the resources and you have the computers and you have
people
you know
in
what I
your
mean?
pockets.
Like,
You got the refs in your pockets.
I wouldn't say you have the refs in your pockets. I just say data analytics. Like if you have people doing that and you have a lot of money invested in
Sure,
it.
that's a thing. That's a thing. Yeah, for sure. But no, it's rigged. It has to be rigged. There's no other explanation. Like
I think their job is, you're saying, how could they get it right? That's their job. Their job is to get the numbers right. That's what they spend all day, the whole time of their day getting the numbers right. That's the whole point. If they don't get the numbers right, they don't got a business anymore.
They're just chatting with GPT all day and just running the scenarios.
it's just,
South Park
It's
just
like
made
it's
an
like
episode of
like Nate Silver, right?
Mm.
Before the Trump election with Hillary and Trump.
Yeah, he was flawless.
He was flawless. He had a whole bunch of different races that he would predict who's gonna win, and he was right every single time. And it all you could scream rigged. He got the script, blah blah blah. But it was his job to get the numbers right. Like he would, what they would do is do projections based on polling data, based on how people voted historically, based on all these different aspects. And they would make predictions on who would win. And believe it or not, with all that data handy, you can make people act predictably. You can make a pretty good estimate. Like if you have a team of players and they all average the most points in the league, and they're playing against a team that averages less points, right? Who are you going to bet on? You're going to bet on the team that scores more, right? Like it's just like, obviously that's a simple example, but that's ultimately what it comes down to is they're just taking the statistics historically and applying them to the games, and they just have access to all this data. They're writing these programs to crunch all these calculations out. I don't think it's rigged. But.
What about the refs? You don't think the refs play a part in these bullshit calls?
Absolutely.
Because
I don't think that the vast majority of refs are paid off or anything, but I think that shit probably happens. I think it probably happens more often than I realize.
So, Tony, the Olympics rigged?
I would say that would probably be the only sport that's not. There's too much pride on the line. Or
Yeah,
those people.
right. Roy Jones Jr. got robbed at the Olympics of his gold medal. This is a documented robbery. So there are cases of corruption in all sports, but to just blanket claim that a sport across the board is rigged, that just feels weird. Yeah. Floyd Mayweather got robbed at the Olympics, and Roy Jones Jr. got robbed at the Olympics.
Imagine you're watching a NASCAR race or something, and they were actually rigged. So the dude in first place is just streaming towards the finish line and just hits the brake for no reason.
It's fucking Mateo,
It's wait, I'm not supposed to win. I'm supposed to come in third.
Which brings me up to another good point. Should we get rid of referees? Put bots to make the plays and make the calls?
I think that one comes up a lot in particular with baseball because there's the technology that exists, right? Where they could have a perfect strike zone and they could know for a fact whether every pitch is in that strike zone or not, right, Pooch? That should exist.
Yeah, they display it. When you watch the game, you can see the box and boom, you can see the pitch, and they draw the little circle of where the pitch landed. You know that it's a strike. And sometimes the umpire calls the wrong call, even though you're looking at and they're like, oh, they need to review that. You know.
So would would it break the game like if they just went pure automated like rulings on that, got rid of the umpires? I mean, they couldn't get rid of all the umpires, right? Because there's still like certain other decisions that have to be made with all the rules in consideration, right? But
it would break baseball because so much about baseball hinges on the tradition of baseball. Like it's America's pastime. You know what I'm saying? They hang on to these traditions and their history and stuff like that. So I feel like for a lot of baseball fans, you would be ruining the sport by like automating something like that. But I think it would make the sport better personally.
it would go faster too, right? Like there wouldn't be all the time for like the instant replay reviews and things like that.
I
There'd
think
be less drama though. Nothing's more hype than like some type of drama in a game. The wrong call, it gets people. It would sterilize sports to an extent where it's like everything's gonna be like super mechanical. You know what I mean?
Imagine football, Tony. Like they have just like an automatic laser that spots the ball for them after every play.
bro, if we had bots or whatever instead of referees, Cowboys would have went to the playoffs deep when they were playing against the fucking Packers. T.O. fucking rolled into the and it was a touchdown. Oh, word. Either way, I think it'll be worth it. And basketball, I think it will be fantastic. Just because these refs be calling some bullshit ass fouls. Not gonna lie to you, when the Celtics played the Lakers and Brown fouled James, it was a foul. Clear as fucking day, didn't get called. I think that was rigged. Some way, somehow, referees deke and they didn't see that shit. I think it was rigged. I do.
I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to it. It kind of goes to like, think of like automated traffic violations. How do you feel if like you were just speeding and then boom, they just sent a speeding ticket to your house? You'd be fucking pissed.
I've heard those things are real easy to get out of. Like you just have to go and like be like, that wasn't me in the car, and
Yeah,
they
'cause
can't
I
really
think-
like reliably prove that it was you in the car.
They can't give you a third party thing can't give you a ticket because they're not the law.
But yeah, that would be miserable. Like if there was just shit built into the cars that if you're speeding, it just automatically gives you a ticket.
That would be fire.
That'd be some Demolition Man stuff.
That would be
That would
fire.
suck.
It'll stop a lot of accidents. If you're muted, if you look at your phone, you get a ticket. I think that should be fire. It'll save a lot of lives. It'll suck, but I think it'll save a lot of lives. I'm not gonna lie to you. People don't.
Yeah,
need to
I
be,
think there's an amount of lives that it would save. I don't know if it's worth violating our freedoms for it, but yeah, I don't know. For sports though, it could make a game take forever. Imagine they had robots calling fouls in an NBA game. You know how many times the referees use their discretion? Like someone touches a player, that's illegal. You're not supposed to touch anybody. The only time any contact should occur is if you're in the post or boxing someone out or like trying to fight for positioning on a rebound. Otherwise, there's supposed to be no contact between players. But there's plenty of contact when you watch games. And the referees use their discretion to say, all right, I'm not going to call that because like that's not disturbing the game. Or this is just, there's a rule for this, but we're going to use some leeway because of blah, blah. Like imagine a robot that every time there's a touch, beep, players are getting fouled out like a motherfucker. It would change the sport fundamentally.
Yeah,
players are going to play differently now that robots are determining what's happening on the court. You know what I mean?
Would that be better or just different?
I think it'd be worse for a
think it'd
sport
be
like
worse?
basketball. It would remove a lot of like
The strategy.
the. I mean, for me, I love the contact. So like, I want to go back to the '90s where people were getting clotheslined on the basketball court, and it was
elbows.
halfway acceptable. You know what I mean? Like, I love that shit. Now these players are just a bunch of fucking wimps.
Imagine soccer, and they had to wear like sensors built into their shin guards or something, so you could actually tell if a player was legitimately like it took enough force to be on the ground holding their leg, or if they're just flopping.
bro. There's nothing worse than soccer players flopping. Bro, I don't know what it is with these guys, these fucking Hollywood guys. You can be like this. He'll
The
grab
Hollywood
his eye.
guys.
He'll grab his eye and be like, I can't see.
I think
It's like-
I think that it's it's become a legitimate strategy in the game over the years, right?
I saw a clip of a guy run up to another guy. He grabbed the guy's hand and hit himself with the guy's hand, and then he threw himself on the ground. I was like, yo, they be acting like they got shot with a gun, bro. Like they're going through excruciating pain. I think nothing's worse than basketball players flopping, because these guys are 200 pounds, shredded, they're monsters, they're huge, and then someone touches them. Watching LeBron James fall to the ground is like it's like, bro, you're built like a fucking tank. There's no way that the guy touched your arm and you collapse to the ground. That would make you one of the weakest people on planet Earth. Like, at least these soccer players, they're not as physically gifted in terms of like the height and the build as a basketball player.
The one that's terrible. Remember how they used to pump fake, shoot, and then jump into you and be like, "Oh, he fouled me." Those were the worst.
But that's not flopping. That is like just a legitimate strategy. I hated that shit. But yeah,
but like Tony, let me ask you a question. Up to what level do you think this is viable? So you're gonna go to your little league game. Luca's gonna be out there. It's fucking rigged.
You gotta pay $1,000 for your kid to play in the little league game because they have to pay for all the robot technology they need to automate it.
I actually think the lower level a sport is, the easier it is to rig. There's less oversight. There's less like regulation. There's less committees, and you have a lot of conflict of interest. The people that run these little league sports organizations are like parents that have kids on teams. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ripe for the taking. Like, you need to corrupt this shit so your kid can succeed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I've seen some bullshit. Local boxing tournaments, fucking little league tournaments. Like, yeah, there'd be some bullshit.
There's a movie called Bad Words, where this grown man uses this clause in the spelling bee rules to join the children's spelling bee. He's a grown-ass man, and he's demolishing the competition. So, like, in the middle of the movie, the director goes into the dictionary to find the hardest words she can find to fuck him over, and he still gets them right. And then all the parents go and they figure out that she did that, and they're like, and it still didn't stop him. they're like, no. I'm upset.
So they try to rig it. They were for the rigging.
Yeah, because all the parents are like, nah, this grown-ass man is trying to take my kid's shine.
Word.
He's up on the stage psyching little kids out. It's so fucked up.
I do think, though, just to answer your question, yeah, maybe the bots in certain sports, maybe not, but like, I still think football would be a good one. Basketball might be overkill because they'll stop way more than and they'll stop a lot. But yeah, football. I said basketball, and boxing. I think because I don't think they get every single punch. I don't believe that the person who's counting punches or strong punches or whoever's doing that count. Because like I said, I don't watch enough boxing. I think they get those numbers wrong all the time.
I mean, there's definitely some room for like your own interpretation in there. Like, you sometimes there's a punch and it's like, did it actually connect? Did it skim off of him? Did it make clean contact? There's some wiggle room there for sure.
There's actually this group of like programmers. They wrote this app pretty much to this like AI watches a boxing match, and it it basically it has all these different criteria of stats that it records, but it could show like how many weak punches does this person land, how many medium punches, how many strong punches, who had control of the center of the ring, and it keeps track of all this stuff. And now it's interesting for them. They run the AI against certain fights to just see what it says about the fight, and they grab those stats, compare it to the punch stats that the people calculated, and they compare it to the judging to see, okay, how well did the judges do this? In this one round, Golovkin outlanded Canelo 3-1, but the judge gave the round to Canelo. Like, how the fuck did that happen? And things like that. It's actually really fascinating. They got an Instagram page where they post these match analysis or whatever. I can't remember the name. I'll find it. I'll send it to you guys.
Butch, what is the process in boxing like that? Because they count punches while it's happening. Is there just a guy with like a little counter, like one for each boxer, and they're just clicking every time they think there's a punch?
Yep.
That's wild.
There's two guys counting the punches for each fighter, and basically if both of them try to count a punch at the same time, they'll say, okay, two people thought that was a punch, whatever, that's a punch. But regardless, those punches are only for the viewers. That, like, we see those stats, but the judges don't see that stats. The judges just watch the fight, so the punch counts don't actually matter at all in terms of judging a fight. Tony's over here falling asleep.
Tony is 100% asleep.
Those are lies.
Oh shit, bro!
Those are lies.
You just
all
went
lies.
through the fucking 7 stages of snoring, bro. Like, he just fucking,
all lies. Listen,
he was dozing. He got stuck.
I was looking at my phone.
Hit that comfortable pose. It's like, ooh. Like, if I didn't say nothing, you were gonna lock in right there.
No.
Like,
The best part is Tony leaving the room early. I'm pretty sure that was just so he could go splash water on his face to try to wake up.
Wow, that's insane. Doughboy's been using the bathroom all night. No one bats tonight. I use the bathroom to stick the powder in my face with water.
Either Doey used the bathroom or he's going to be peeing in one of those cans that he has at his table there.
Facts.
Whatever.
And then he'll mix up the bottle.
Right
He'll mix up the
now.
can. It'll be a whole thing.
He's wearing a sniper
in the
diaper.
pod, you just like exploded out of your chair and walked out of the room. What the
I
fuck?
was holding it for a while.
Oh my god!
I had been wanting to go for a while. Yeah.
It was even nuts because you asked the question and you just like blow and you just left. I was like, what the fuck?
I got my question out and I was like, bam, I gotta go now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you run to the bathroom, hit that subscribe button. Like, share, follow. We're on all social media platform, all audio platform only. We're on Discord. Soon on the PlayStation 5 too. Get it. Join us. Talk. Let me know if I'm wrong about sports betting and how the shit is rigged. And I was not sleeping. I was looking at my phone.
With his eyes closed. Through his eyelids.
I do want to say, because no one really gave their opinion too hard. There's no fucking way the sports are rigged.
Yeah,
the amount of people that it would involve, this is a conspiracy. The amount of people that it would be involved would be astonishing. And the fact that the information hasn't leaked in all the years of these sports, it just proves that it doesn't happen. Like,
Maybe
it's not on any large scale. There may be some localized event where 1 or 2 referees are scheming to try to do a thing in a particular game, something like that. But if it's some widespread, all the NFL players are getting this script for the season.
That's
this guy,
him being funny.
you need to. Yeah, but it has to happen in some respect. You're saying someone sat that kicker down and told them, bro, you need to miss all 4 of these kicks.
Go wide.
Go wide on every kick. Laces out. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Ace Ventura joke. You got to miss your field goals every time. Like, that's a player receiving the script. Is it scripted that he's even going to be able to kick a field goal? Or is it just, if you get the chance to kick a field goal, you have to miss it? Everybody thinks it's weird. But you don't think it's weird. You think it's one step further. You're thinking it's so weird that it couldn't have just happened.
those crazy like Hail Mary passes that land and it's a miracle win, blah blah blah. They're all scripted. They have a wire attached and they're running the ball out to the other person.
No wire, just magnets in the ball in the player's glove. So that's beast.
He's got that stickum from Little Giants.
The NFL knew about Deflategate the whole entire time, and then they decided to out them just to stop their reign. You know, it's all rigged.
You said one of Tony's words. He perked up there when you said deflate gate.
He's like,
And we all know about Tom Brady's Deflategate.
Yeah, Tom Brady's script just said, you win this year. And that's all his script said.
As always, ladies and gentlemen, go one up yourself.
Go one up yourself.
Peace. I went like this with the middle finger and switched it up.